sellers. So yeah, that's why this strategy really is the best with stocks, then Forex, and then if you want to try it out, do it with crypto. And what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to mark my entry using a brush. Now let me see what color it is. So it's green. Let's switch it to potentially purple, I guess. And I just want to mark my close using a lighter purple. So let's just do. We're getting a lot of price action. So I'm just going to delete this. Actually, let's change the color here. Delete this. Yeah, as we're getting closer to resistance, we've got to be more cautious, take into account, candlestick movements and potential wicks away from the downside. This is a good example. However, this wasn't near a well-respected support area. As a result, we've avoided it, which has really affected us in a good way, because if we were to buy this, price would have moved entirely in the opposite direction. Potential buy power is increasing. Of course, not going to react right now yet. We haven't had the volume stack up here. Down here, we had uptrend, we had a volume stack. Of course, we had one here, and that was a delayed trend. That would have been a delay to the upside. We've really had the volume stack here at the moment. Somewhat had touched the resistance, and if we have a look at here, some sort of a wick is forming from the upside to the downside, indicating that potential sellers are strong still, and they're trying to push the price even lower. Buyers are still pushing. It's kind of the candles are basically like the order book. But what this is telling us is that sellers push the buyers down, buyers are pushing the sellers back up. So competition, there's more competition than before, and we got to see how it turns out, right? There could be a potential breakout here, but that's what we're watching out for, right? Breakouts. And but then we're looking for potential price drop at main respected resistance. Of course, we got our VWAP as well, and if we do get a bounce off of here near the VWAP, VWAP basically acts as a second confirmation for price to move back up to potentially 0.0024. Yeah, that's something to consider. And it's all about being patient, and it's better to not make a trade than to lose money, right? So yeah, Of course, you know, if you got a lot in your accounts, or potentially you're trying to go small to start off with, you could potentially hedge some sort of an order here right now, you know, because you know you've seen some buy power being stacked up, but you know, again, you know, we don't have enough volume, so I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to place it here. You know, enough volume supporting potential breakthrough, and also, you know, we really didn't have, you know, price barely, you know, it barely broke through the close of the last candlestick, so that just tells us, you know, buyers aren't strong enough on that 3-minute candle. And you know, with the start of the new candle, you know, we got a lot of red, potentially indicating that price could reach lower lows. As a result, reaching the sweet spot here. Again, you know, if we're looking for a buy here, we're not looking for a short, right? So if price does, you know, somewhat go down, you know, I'm expecting price to potentially go down here, then bounce back up, or potentially go down here, then bounce back up. From here, you know, I'm looking for price to go down, of course, you know, but you know, price always has, you know, has a way of, you know, trying to, you know, push itself back up using these weaker, you know, supports. So really, what I'm looking for is a play here, and you know, and you know, this is, you know, this play that I'm making, it's not based on fundamentals, right? Whereas in stocks, you know, you got more fundamentals to work with, and you expect the price to go up, you know, at a certain position. Of course, I do expect it to go up here, but with stocks, you have news backing it up. So, you know, when the market opens, you're looking for some drawbacks. And, you know, as demand increases at a lower price, which would potentially be, you know, near your well-respected support, you're looking for it to, you know, get back up due to the excessive demand, right? And you know, you could do that through you know, through researching high IPO stocks through either a screener or just the news, or just by looking at the daily charts and looking for gaps in the market. And by the way, why I'm using a VWAP, the reason is that VWAP is well respected in all the markets, of course. And by well respected, I mean a lot of people incorporate it into their trading. As a result, you know, of course, not as a result, but you know, a lot of people, you know, I'm not going to explain it thoroughly, but VWAP kind of acts, let's say, as a support and resistance, just to keep it simple. But of course, there's, you know, the real way of how it works. You know, I could go more in depth into how it works, but for the time being, I'm just gonna, you know, stick to and focus, should I say, on you know, the main play, or our main objective, which is to, you know, look for a buy, you know, near support. And you know, right now we're getting very close to support, and right, like even around this region, if we get some sort of a massive wick to the downside, right, you know, we're looking for an entry, right? Because, or potentially an entry here, because you know, we've got all this region to go through, right? So that's going to be our main focus. Just gonna do the mark already here, and we're looking for price drops, or you know, potential wick action. As wick action, I mean some sort of a long wick action, like you know, this example here, or you know, potentially, you know, like this one here, or anything like these lot here. That would be nice. You know, sellers already pushing the price down. I'm assuming that buy limits are, you know, placed around this region, which could, you know, like these regions where we got these wicks, that could, you know, push the price upwards. And you know, gradually, as we get more sell rejection, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna come closer to making a decision on this trade. And again, like, you know, with stocks, it depends really on the market volatility. With this sort of a market, then you could hold your position for a longer period of time because, price action lasts, into the upside or the downside for a longer period. Or, if you put in a lot of money into one trade, um, that being that, out of, small movements, you'd be basically making, potentially $200, dollars or up to, initially, should I say, supposedly up to a grand. Now, again, we're already getting some sort of a doji, and this could potentially result in our entry being here. So, potentially, I'll be hedging, but right there, that's interesting. So we're getting a lot of buy movement. So I want to place my entry right here. Of course, when years before we got some sort of a wick action, the doji, which of course signifies a movement to the upside. High buy volume, buy volume increased dramatically, with the sell volume being super low. Let's change this marker into a light. Oops, not that. Sorry. So that's gonna stay purple. Let's select this. I'm gonna change this color to that. Let's delete that. And we're starting to get sell rejection, right? And sell rejection suggests that a whole lot of buy limit orders are placed, and this sort of resistance is well respected. Of course, we could get drawbacks up to here due to sell pressure increasing immensely. That could happen, and it's all about not freaking out when those sort of things do occur. And it's about trying to hold your position, trying your best to hold your position and maintaining that trading psychology, and trying not to leave the trade too early, because we can see here price dropped here, which suggests potentially a lot of buy limits are placed. Of course, what some people might do is they place their order here, usually they place some sort of notification here or here, they start to see doji patterns occur, they cancel their limits and they start placing it here, which really moves the price to the upwards section. So that's another thing to take into consideration. But on the volume side, we really are looking for groups of green bars to build up and push the push the price to the upside. Um, and that is very important.
Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to follow all of our social media, which can be found in the description below, and stay tuned for next week's episode.